Let's start. In your strength of material lab syllabus, we have six experiments, namely three hardness testing, one impact testing, one uh, torsion testing, and one tensile compressive testing. Out of these three, we have covered all three or six of them. Now we have to use our spare time to go through and repeat. If you repeat all of them one by one another, and with the idea that if some of them lost the class, you can see, and if you can go through again, and if the still time is left for a day, I will go for the theoretical class. Now, the question is, first of all, we know, I have discussed that we have three different type of hardness testing machine. That is Rinel, Rockwell, and Vickers. And first, we have to understand what we are going to test in this hardness testing machine. What is hardness? All materials, all engineering materials generally, we use are different type of steel, copper, brass, aluminum. These are the four different type of material we use in our engineering practice, especially in your engineering studies. In the steel, there is thousands of different steel, but we generally go through for your clarification for their comparatively easier application. We go through the mild steel only. So we have test specimens made of mild steel, made of brass, made of copper, made of aluminum. And for hardness testing machine, we used case hardened mild steel for hardness testing of the hardness testing of different hardness testing of steel. Now, question is first of all, what is hardness? I hope you should remember what is the definition of hardness and what you exactly mean by hardness. I am repeating the same. By hardness, a material which is generally used in engineering practices are resist any indentation or any dent or any work or any scribe over its surface. Means harder the material, it is very difficult to scribe over it. Say hardened steel, you cannot scribe by means of pencil, but a wooden surface, you can scribe as well as write something over by a piece of pen or piece of pencil, because wood is much softer than steel. Softer the steel, it is more readily scribed or written. I can write anything, you can draw anything. Everything can be done on softer surface machine material, but harder surface machine material, we need special purpose tools or works or methods to make any indent, make any drawing, make any shape, also to cut the material to required shape. So why hardness is required? Why hardness of a particular item is required to know? You know, in your latter part of your syllabus, you will go through the process or method known as hardening of the metal itself. The metal is by born or by its which is obtained from the mine, it may not be that hard. But we have a process known as hardening process. We are hardening it up to a certain limit. There is specific scale, so step-3 method of checking how much the hardness is your material is be, or how much hardness we are supposed to make the material in order to do its function which is supposed to do. So harder the surface is required to make scribe, indent, or cut to different shape of other materials. So a cutting tool, a machining tool, a drill, a milling cutter, these are all hard materials. This is hard because it's supposed to be harder and sharper than the item, that the raw material which it will cut and make our result shape. Now, to cut the material, you should have your cutting tool up to a certain hardness. And there is a specific process of doing the hardening of the material. especially the process is made over the steel, not over aluminum or copper or brass. There are few coatings are there to improve their hardness to a certain extent, but that is the very rarely obsolete or non-usable process. But still, there is a big science of making it harder up to a desired limit and making it harder on the surface as well as harder at the core. And all these things is supposed to do in the steel of different types, not on the mild steel, but other type of steel. Mild steel is not really not very hard, cannot be made very hard, except that it can have a hardness coating over it. Now, why hardness is required? High hardness you are supposed to know. You have to make the hardness at the particular item, particular tools of different type, different shapes, different function, up to a certain hardness. And how you know how hard your tool is, you are supposed to make the hardness of the tools. Check the hardness of the tool, check the record, and go through whether it's accepting your function or not. Now, first of all, there are three different types of hardness testing machines. That is Brinell, one is Rockwell, one is Vickers. Essentially, these machines are different, made by its original manufacturer. But the hardness testing is essentially the same, except the fact how we are doing the hardness thing. We are everywhere you are making an indent or impression about the surface we are on to whose hardness you want to know. And how we are making the indent or making this dent is more or less same. But how much dent you are doing is different from the surface to surface. And how we are measuring the size of this dent. Somewhere for Brinell, you are measuring the diameter of the dent. For Rockwell, you are measuring the depth of the dent. And Vickers, we are measuring the diagonal length of the dent. And this measurement, this size we have received, is supposed to be tallied with a chart meant for Brinell hardness. That will be tallied with a chart meant for Vickers hardness. Hardness, Rockwell does not require a hardness testing chart, but it is its hardness can be severely dialed, quickly obtained from the reading of a dial gauge installed on the machine, which is calibrated to check the hardness of the matter you are concerned. So, by means of the hardness checking, we should have made the indent. To make the indent, we should have a hardened indenter, means a particular member, machine member, which can be forced by means of a force, forced by means of a force into the material, into your test piece. And the depth of this indent or diameter of the indent or the diagonal distance of the indent the impression is supposed to be checked by different methods, by calculate and take the impression, when to take the size and tally with the chart. With this, we can check the hardness. Now, first of all, as you have said, that there is only one way of checking the hardness. You have to make an indent over the surface and check the dimension of the surface. But what dimension of the indent impression of checking, it is varying from machine to machine. Next comes the difference. How much load is required to make the indent? It also varies from machine to machine. For Brinell, it can be as high as 33 tons or 3,000 kg equivalent load. Rockwell can be around 150 kg maximum. Vickers can be around 10 kg maximum. So Vickers has the minimum and maximum has the Brinell. But in order to, as the more force is applied, the indenter of the Brinell is a bit different than that of the Rockwell and Vickers. It is taken as a hardened and polished steel ball of say 5 mm, 6 mm, which is fixed in the top plunger of the machine, and plunger is placed up to a certain depth of it so that you can get the impression. So that is for Rockwell, that is for Brinell. For Rockwell, we are supposed to have indent it by means of a 1 by 16 inch diameter steel ball, as well as a diamond pyramid or diamond cone. Here, this is the indenter of very small size, around 1 to 2 millimeter different dimensions of around 1 to 2 millimeter. And this hardened indenter is again forced by a force of around 160, 180, 100, 120, 160 kg of force for the Rockwell hardener. For the Vickers, we are supposed to have only one indenter, that's a diamond shaped indenter, diamond cone indenter, which we are pressing into the workpiece and measuring the dimension by microscope and then tallying it with your chart of the measurement. Now, and another thing is there, one of the differences there, how will you load the workpiece? For how will you load the indenter into the workpiece? How will you force the indenter into the workpiece? The method is there. Just 1 second. Here, for the Brinell, we are using maximum load. It can vary from 500 to max 3000. Maximum load 3000 ton or 3000 kg or equivalent weight of 3 kilonewton into the workforce by means of a fulcrum and parenting rod business. And it is like this. It is one end of a long heavy lever is inserted or fixed in a inside the load activity rod, and other is situation other end we have one load hanger where the loads are I've been hanged one after another according to your need, and if you release this load, which means release the hanger of this load, then it's by means of one weight, it will this plunger of the impression is initiated and it goes inside the workpiece by pressing the impression. And after again we release the lock load from the back, it is starts hanging over the hanger, but it is released from the wall. Now, so Rockwell also follows the same thing, same type of hanger and same type of hammer or same type of testing machine. Now, but the Vickers, we also have the same thing, but for Rockwell, we have to have the loading around 80 to around 60, 80, 100, 120 like this. That can be machines as high as this is given chart. Now, for Vickers, we are using more or less the same procedure, but we are using here a maximum load of 8 to 10 kg, not more than that. And this impression, next question is, how will you check the impressions? There is a difference. The Brinell is being checked by means of a microscope. Rockwell is checked by means of a dial gauge, and for Vickers, it is checked also again by means of multi-floor, by means of a microscope. But there is one essential difference between Vickers and Rockwell. Where Rockwell and Brinell are supposed to load manually. The Vickers is supposed to load electronically by actuating the rod by means of a timer set inside the machine, and this timer will change the machine, will start swinging the machine, and then stop it. Now let us go through what is Rockwell hardness. What is the Brinell hardness? Just 1 second, please. Now let us go through the details of the Brinell hardness test again. Now it is defined as a production type hardness testing machine designed to measure Brinell hardness of steels and other metals, but making flat, round or irregular in shape. So it is production type machines, means it can be used in production. Which type of machines are used in production, which can be easy to understand and easy to operate and easy to check the result. This type of machines are the standard machines we used used in the industries for years to checking the hardness of it. Here, for the checking, mostly we have used a flat surface, but a round or irregular shape surface can also be used in this for this type of machine. Only the fact that the point where the indenter will strike should supposed to be flat, and which we are supposed to understand that this surface is a destructive type of machine, which means this can be the part which you are checking cannot be reused. So you have to make a specific test piece from the material which you want to check of doing the same treatment or operation over the original mill to make a new check piece which is supposed to check by means of loading or indenting in the machine, in the Brinell hardness machine. Now, here, that's why, which means it should be accurate for production type of machine, should be accurate and it should be easy to operate. What is the machine's description? The machine's description is fully enclosed in a steel fabricated body, and mechanism inside the machine is thus protected from dust and extraneous elements. First of all, machines like a fabricated body and housing all the inner integrated parts inside the frame of the machine and covering all the openings properly, so that dirt and dust should not go and go inside or spoil the surface of the machine. The elevating screen, there is a platform over which you have to place the bar to make the different testing and to make the testing, and by elevating the spindle, which is covered by a telescopic cover, we move this platform up and down to ensure to accommodate different type of work and to accommodate to certain loading to a certain extent. What this machine consists of a J frame, one, a main lever, a hanger, and an elevating screw. The main lever is the lever which rotates a cam system to release the load and as well as to non-function the load without as well as clear the load. First of all, you have to load and apply the load to the workpiece as well as to release the load to the workpiece. By means of this hanger, by means of the main lever, there is a cam system inside with the help of which you can load your external weight to the workpiece indenter as well as you can release the load to the indenter. And it is the hanger over which you have to place the different weights of certain height. Actual weight will be supposed to be 15 to 20, 30 kg, but it is magnified by means of the crank and cranking rod mechanism to a 10 to 100 times more than its own weight. Now, its effect can be increased to that extent. You should have an elevating screw which elevates or lowers the platform with over which the load is fixed and where which the load means the workpiece is fixed, kept and fixed, and over which the pressure of making the impression is applied. So it must be rigid and strong to make everything possible. And as well as loading, and there is a loading unloading mechanism. There is a spindle here which can move anti-clockwise direction so that it is released, that full load is being applied to the workpiece. Then it will rotate to act to the clockwise direction to make this lever or hanger to move up and release from the workpiece. So, and there is also a damper system which carries the immense pressure of this hanger from the bottom, which prevents us not to strike the different type of workpiece if there is something wrong itself. There are 5 detachable weights. Each should equivalent to 500 kgf, and 2 of them, 4 of them equivalent to 500 kgf, and 2 of them are equivalent to 250 kgf. So the minimum weight we can set of this machine is the weight without any hanger, without any weight, because hanger itself also has weight around 500 kg weight. So without putting this log actuating load, we can make the testing at your will. The operating lever is provided for loading and unloading for a smooth and strain-free surface. Now, what is the technical data available for this type of machine? In stage for 400 kg or 500 kg, it load range 500 kg to 400 kg, 300 kg, 3000 kg. Maximum test height should be 25 centimeter, say around say around 8 feet or 25 feet or 250 centimeter, but 25 centimeter. That goes up to around 1 feet. Now, the depth of the throat is 150 millimeter. Throat means there is a screw jack system over which you can place the platform, and platform has a projection, round projection, and at the center of it in the bottom side, that projection goes inside this hole of the throat, and so that it should that the plate which is carrying the material cannot be moved away or turned down easily unless you try to do so. The total gross weight, the approximate weight of the machine will be around 250 kg, 210 kg. And total height from the machine is 1 meter or 9,900 meter. And size of the base is 495 meters, 225, 255, and 495 to 255. So what are the different loads? For Brinell igniters, we don't have any diamond or any other hard materials, but we have only hardened steel balls for loading. This hardened steel ball will be fixed to the hardest giving plunger, the pressure of the plunger by means of a special type of item, the holder, which houses inside the hole, houses the indenter, which is round like a round ball inside the hole, and this holder also has thread. It can be fixed to the topmost spindle of the machine so that there's now here we are having, just have told you, we don't have any diamond indenter. We have only steel ball. What are the different steel balls? What is shown here is steel ball of diameter 10 millimeter or 1 centimeter, steel ball of the ball indicators are 10, 5, or 2.5. Generally, we don't have 2.5 millimeter ball. We use only 10 to 10.5. And the for the steel, 10 meter ball can be used to give the equivalent load equal to 3000 metric ton, 3000 kg or 3 metric ton. And for brass, by using the same round ball, it is going to apply 1000 capacity. And for aluminum, it is only 5 into 60, that is 300 metric ton capacity. And software bearing is 2.25, 250 kg bearing, kg load. But in our machine, as the hanger weight is minimum 500 kg, we can't go less than that. So you can add with this 500 kg with different weights as per your choice. But you cannot reduce the hanger to make the machine by itself. So what is given here? Steel and iron 30 multiplied by D into D. This is the diameter of the inlet. 30 multiplied by D into D. So 30 to D into D, D is the diameter. It has plus 10 into D into D. That is the diameter, and 5 into D is the aluminum. D is the diameter. So 10 millimeter ball can be used everywhere. But load should be varied. If you use 10 millimeter rod, for steel and aluminum checking, we have to use 3 metric ton load, inertial load. If we check brass, we make 1 metric ton, and for aluminum, that is half metric ton. And soft bearing materials are less, only 500 kg, 250 kg. And for smaller dials, that is 5 millimeter dials, we can test steel as well as brass, not copper. For steel, load will be supposed to be 160 kg, and 250 is supposed to be 150 kg. What are the different equipments we use? The testing table, the ball holder of 10 millimeter, ball holder of 5 millimeter, text box to check test box we have, and the 2 balls, 10 millimeter, 1 is 5 millimeter, and the Brinell microscope, which is used for checking the diameter of the workpiece. Now, the weights. The weight hanger, after screwing the bottom weight hooked on the hanger T. The weight hanger, after screwing the bottom weight from the width of the weight hanger G, the elevation is equivalent to 500 kg, and is look for the out of the remaining 6 weight, 2 are equal to 20. 2 are 20, and then is, and 4 are equal to 600. The total is 250 kg, 300 kg. So what is getting? Only assembly, hanger assembly. Hanger is equal to 500 kg. You have to increase, that should be on the ball injector. And of the remaining 6 weight, 2 are 250 kg and 4 are 300, 500 kg. And these are all total. If you add them together, we get 500, we get 50,000 kg. The weight after screwing the bottom, weight hanger after screwing the bottom weight hooked on the hanger T. So one end, the center of the hanger is resting over the cam block of another machine, and then it went to the at the end of this hanger. We have a hanger, which means nothing but a plate is hanging with the hanger, and this plate, with this plate, we can put our load accordingly to create the equivalent load on the workpiece itself. The WHN 300. Now mounting remover of the machine. Clean the bottom surface of the flanger, remove the tight ball and tighten the ball holder and tighten the small fillet. Now method of test. What is the method? A Brindle hardness testing, surface of the specimen first of all should be thoroughly clean, smooth, flat, smooth and clean and dry. So the essence of all sort of hardness taking machine, we have to prepare the hardness. It total all these scales, which may be produced by interaction with the iron ore to the hard, is to be removed. Next, it should be grind finished to make it perfectly flat and clean, and it should be dry. If it is not clean or not dry, it will have problem with this type of operation. Next, ball holder should hold with steel and ball, 10 millimeter and 5 millimeter. Further, there are one. The load is maintained for 10 minutes, and then the diameter of the specimen is generally take maximum 0.017. First of all, the load is maintained for 15 seconds, and the diameter whose lorry is supposed to take is equal to 57. The ferrous metal, the load ranges from P into P is equal to 30 into D multiplied by D should be used, and for non-ferrous metal, the load varies 50 into D by D and 255 into D multiplied by D, and should be used properly. Next, Brindle hardness is the ferrous surface. Okay, Brindle hardness number depend often from the equation. BHN, load on the Brindle hardness machine, multiplied by 2 into P, that is the load. And so ferrous metal roll range 30 to D to D, and non-ferrous metals are has to be 50 to 2.6. Now, you make the impression, you check it by the hardness testimony, then tally the impression, then tally the impression with means of a hardness chart. I'll show you what is the hardness chart and what is its constituent. And Brindle hardness load on the area of figure of the operation 2 into pi into 3 star 2 into pi divided by 1 is this divided. That BHN is a Brindle hardness number. The teenage boy, it's teenage boy. P is the load applied in kg. J is the diameter of the ball in millimeter. Small d is the diameter of the applied load. Next, what is the operating ratio of how to operate the machine? First, we should follow the following steps. Keep the machine operating rear downward forward. Machine operating lever should be downward. If you stay in front of them, you will just view the rod on the side of the rod. And what The carrying out the test policy should be strictly followed. Any negligence can spoil the indenter as well as the machine. Keep the operated lever, first of all, keep the operated lever in the horizontal level. Place the specimen on the test piece. Now turn the nut in clockwise direction so that the specimen will push the indenter 30. But push should not be very high. It should be light push, but you will ensure that they are both are touching each other. Now lift the operating handle from the horizontal position upward, at which causes then wait till the lever becomes stable. Then begin the harness lever of the harness horizontal position. Bring back to the horizontal position. Turn back nut and remove the specimen. Carry the same procedure for other purpose. So the procedure is essentially same. Get the specimen, place it on the table, bring down the machine, and load is created over the hanger, and all these things, hanger as well as zone weight, the load is being applied to the workpiece. Actually, the operating here from horizontal upwards, slightly afterwards, it will rotate by its own weight because the cam from the top position, it moves